So hello guys, hope you're well. So today we want to do an introduction video of Hyperworks or MBD or MotionSolve, all those. So this is just an intro. I'm also learning the software. So when you install it in Windows 10, you come here and then you will find there are so many parts or clients. They're calling them clients. So usually you start HyperView like that. Once you start HyperView, now this is what you get. This is what you get, but first, this is the window now, just the normal one. We've not launched anything. So but first, before you do anything, you can come here and then you can see that it supports the .g files, .mvw. So you'll see all these as we continue. So h3d, .tpl file, so ptl file, Altair Hyperworks. This is, I think, the mvw. So plt is there. So all these we learn them as we go along. Now let us continue. Now once you launch your Hyperworks, so we can come here and we can open session. So we have various clients. So when you come to this tab here, they call this the client tab, this bottom here. So the client, you can come here and select Hypermesh, HyperView, HyperGraph, HyperMotionView. So MotionView is the one where you apply your constraints and your motions and your simulations, as we'll see. So we have hypergraph, we have so many things, but for now we are using HyperView. You can see it's active with a colored graph or contour colored. So let's continue. So you come here to file, then you can open. You can either open a model or a session. For now we want to open a session which had already been done. So I'm just making this video for the purpose of people who like to learn videos. So this is the intro. So we open this one. This just to show you what happens with the software. So you open that. So you will see this. So you just ignore, or you can decide to read it. So we have 6 tabs here. We have 6 tabs. So you can come here. We have six tabs here. So once we click, as you can see on this other window here, the browser window, you'll see that if we click this, we have hypergraph. Then if we click this one, it's for hyperview. Now we go now to hyperview and so on. So hypergraph 2D is used to create graphs in 2 dimensions. Hyperview now is for the motion. So you see we also have another hyperview here. So as we click like that, you'll find that the blue, we have this blue. We want to know which window is active. You can come here. Now this is the active one, or you can also select from here. Now the next thing that you can do, you can come here and now we want to see the simulation itself. So we can click simulation like that. You can see the simulation itself. So this is the simulation. As you can see, it goes together with the tire. The tire, as this blue tire is the right hand side of the tire of the car. As it goes, you'll see also there is some change in the graphs. So here is the steering angle, torque, vehicle acceleration, we have displacements, and so on and so forth. So you can easily come here. So as of this, if you want to expand this window, if you want to expand it, just click on it, any window, and then this now the page tab, this one. You can do anything on these pages, on these tabs here. So we can decide to expand it or reduce it. Click this tab, so expand and reduce. As you move your cursor, you will see that we have swap windows, we have synchronized windows, we have page layout, and so on and so forth. So we want to expand on that like that, and you can also auto fit it. For instance, you can click that and that. We have auto fit the panel. We have auto fit all the simulations. Now this is the road that the tire is going along. So can actually, no, let's cancel this. So we can actually come here and you can pan. You can pan it like that, and you can also rotate. You can rotate. So we can also change the simulation like that, and so on and so forth. So we can auto click like that. You control to auto fit the simulation into the whole of the simulation to the window. You just hold control control and then your middle mouse button like that, and then it auto fits. So if you want to zoom in, control, then you use your middle button of the mouse to see what is going on. So you can actually also, as you can see, this is how the tie is going, like that, like that, like that, up to the end. So we are interested in how the tie is moving. Now it has started again, and so on and so forth. So you can actually come here. We want to restore this window back to its original. So to reduce it back to the original size, just click the tab that you clicked to expand it. Now the next thing that you want to do is to come here to the simulation tab. So you can actually drag the simulation like that, like that, like that. We can also rotate this view. We can rotate this view such that once you click, it rotates, it rotates, it rotates like that. So we can click this view and then we auto fit it, and then we can rotate it to whichever part we want, like that, and so on and so forth. So this one is to rotate left and right. So right click, left click to rotate left, right click to rotate right, up and down like that, like that, rotate clockwise. So for every click it rotates, as you can see. Now you can also, if you want to go to a specific time, you can click this gear or this gear part, animation controls, click it, and then now you'll have this tab. You can go now to a specific time that you want, maybe 1.2 seconds, like that. You can go to that specific time that you want, and you can also slide this here more accurately than when you're sliding it from here, because this is expanded. You can even go in steps of point up to decimal, 2 decimal points. Now next thing that we want to do, we want to reduce this number, the number of tabs here. You can easily come here, click this page view like that. You can decide to put one page. As you can see, we only have one page. If we increase the view, now we have only one graph. If you want three, like that. If you want four, so you click depending on what you want to analyze. So for instance, if we click more than the number that we have, you see the other tabs are blank. There is nothing. There is nothing here. Now you can easily come here and just go back to the original setup. So you can put like that or the other way. If you like it this way, you can put it like that, but this one does not look good. So let us put like that. So what if we want to swap this window, this graph to this graph? So you can easily do that. You click this, you highlight one, you highlight the one that you want to swap, and then you click that, and then you want it to go down like that. It has moved. If you want to swap this maybe to the end, you just click this, swap to the end like that. And now the next thing, now let's say you want to start a new simulation. Like for instance, we are going to do the second half of this video. We are going now to do something else on a simulation, an actual simulation, but it was already pre-done, but I want to explain a bit on it. So you can easily add a page here, add a page like that, and then once you add the page, you can come here and now select motion view or whichever you want to check. So you click motion view like that, and now we want to load a model. So we want to load a model. Now in this case, you'll come to file here. So even you're not going to do it in the second part, so we are just going to do it directly. So we open model, not session, because now this is a model that is already there. Now we want to do we go to the folder that we want. Go now to the Hyperworks introduction tutorial, now single cylinder like that, and then we open it like that. So as you can see, we have these motions have already been put. So we don't want to change anything. We don't want to do the simulation yet. So the next thing that we can do, for instance, let's say we want to go back to the other simulation. The good thing about Hyperworks is that I've seen that you can actually have as many as 10 pages. So for instance, let's look at this. If we look at this and then we zoom in, there's something I forgot. Let's say we want to change how this land or the tarmac looks like. So you can easily come there and then you can change it. You can change from there, or you can mesh it like that. You can change from there. If you want more, we have shaded like that. We have shaded elements, the one how it was originally. So you can put like that, or transparent mesh like that. So that's basically, you can do so much with this. So you can also do an exploded view if you want to. So you can also zoom in from here. You can also rotate from here. So I've just hold, you just hold your left stick, or you left click, and then you can rotate. You can actually rotate the entire. Yes, I've seen it where it is. And now you can come here and then you can pan it. And then we drag in like that. So as you can see, it's moving together with the car. You can see. So if you want to see how they are moving together, yes, like that, like that. Remember, all this simulation will do so much with this software, so we learn a lot. Now let's go now to page 2. So now we are here now in the second part of this video. So where we had left off, we are on motion view. So we click motion view like that. So we'll have new tabs here. So we just come here. We can decide to open session. Can open a session if you want to, but we don't need to open a session. So come here, we open the model that we want to take a look at. So this is the model that we had in the previous session, in the part 1 of this video. So what we do, we just come here, as I had said, come to the constraint. We have this. So we had to add motion. So these are the constraints that you can put. So as you see, we have filter by wall, filter by curve, all these, they are there. So coupler and so on and so forth. So now we click this and then we come here. You hold your mouse. So once we do that, it will only highlight the motion. So that's what we want to check. As you can see, this is the one that filter by motion. So we are filtering everything. These are the isometric or the 3D views, so we don't need them. So you filter specifically by motion. So if you want to filter by joint, so you can come here. You see, these are joint here and a joint there. So you can it neglects everything else and it only leaves the joints alone. So you can filter even by objects. So let's do what we need to do. We want to filter by like that. So these we are doing this so that we can change the type of motion that we want. So remember, we have loaded these 3D views of the cylinder engine. So we want to change some of the things. So we want to change this value from 10, maybe let's say 15, and this is 15 radians per second. So, and now we come here to the project. If we come to the project, we want to check the units. Come to miscellaneous here under the project browser. So come to forms 2 and then you can check gravity. So if we take a look at gravity, we'll see that it's minus 9810 in the Z direction, because the Z is the vertical axis. So and then if we come to the length, we have millimeter, kilogram, newton, second, and so time in seconds. Remember, this is angular velocity, and that's important. That's denoted by omega. That's important. We'll come to it later. Now once we do that, we can come here and then you can continue the motion view. Now we come to the run button. You click run here under this client tab. So now this is where now we are going to work on our simulation. But before that, we come here, we save as model like that. Click this and then we are going to add something else. So 15 rads sec, so that we remember. So you see it's model file MDL. So we save like that. And now once we do that, you'll come and you'll see that how it's saved here, it's different. It's 15 radians. It has changed from how it was. Now you can click this and confirm. So you can save like that. XML. So once you click that and then you click save, so this is the MotionSolve file. So it's already saved. Now leave everything. You leave this button, save and run the model, and then we leave the simulation type transient, end time, like that. So you can increase this time. Now this is where you increase your time of the simulation. Now you can also come here and check the output, whatever you want to change. So for me, I leave everything as default. Now this is the 3D, the animation file. So this for HyperView 3D, you will see we'll load it at some point. Now simulation settings, you can come also and change this to whatever you want, animation scale, general, and so on and so forth. So now the next thing is just click the run button like that. So we are done. So we click close and then we close like that. Now the next thing now is to add a new page. We add a new page. Now the new page now for this new page now is post processing. We are done now with the simulation. We are coming now back to post processing. So now for the post processing we change now from motion view to hyperview. We can come here and load model. We can load a model from here. So as you can see, we can load a model from here, not at the top. So as you've seen, when we are in HyperView, even if we click open a file, open model here, it can only open the model in motion view, but we'll know more as we go. So we can come here, Works tutorial like that. So now we have our cylinder. So HyperView, motion view, we don't open the .abf, we open the HyperView 3D. So now we open this like that. And now we say apply. So we have, this is it. We have our motion. So as you can see now we have the active tab, the tabs are active now for the simulation. As you can see, we have our simulation like that. So now the next thing that we can do, we can add now a graph. You can come here, add another, not another page. You don't need another page. You can delete that page. Yes, you can just delete a page like that. You can come and add another page side by side, and this is the one that is active. And now we select hypergraph 2D like that because we want it in 2 dimension. And now we come here, we open now the one that we want for 15 seconds. Document, hyperview, hyperworks. So the one for 15 radians per second. Now we open the ABF, we open it like that. Now we want to select the time, X in time, and then we want to check the marker velocity like that, or the displacement like that. So we can check any that you want. So we have the marker velocity, and then now we want crankshaft rotation like that. And then now this is the Y request. This is the crank. We don't need on the ground, on the body. We want the rotation. And then now we can say apply. And then we can run our simulation and see what happens. Nothing happens. That means there's something we have not done. Oh yes, there's something we have not done. So we have selected all these, but we have not selected the in which direction, because we have V moment, this is the VM. We have, I can assume this is the moment, and then Vx the shear, and so on, and Vm, Vy, Vz. So we want in the Y direction. Want in the Y direction because we have the displacements going in the Y direction, as you can see, because the marker velocity. Let's see now if we say apply. Yes, that's it. Now you can see now our marker velocity. So as it goes, it's sinusoidal. So it's in the Y direction. Now this is what we wanted to check. So if we play like that, as you can see, our box is going like that. Now we can also add something else. You can also do something else here. You can do also marker displacement like that. And then we can come here and say on the piston, and then we see what happens. No, it's not that one. So we can also do something else. We can add another graph here. So we want to see the omega x. Omega x is the rotation, the 15 rpm that we have put. Now, no, 15 radians per second, not rpm. So we say apply. Now you can see this line, this represents the 15. Now, once you run your simulation like that, you'll see that as it goes, and so on and so forth, like that. Now this is just an overview of this software. So if you click dialog like that, you can see that you can, every time now you want to make a request, now you'll be having to click. The dialog button is not active. Yeah, now if you want to bring it back, this is how you do. You click this graph here. You can also click this build plots dialog. You can do that. So if you want to do it without, as you can see now, the dialog option is not there. It's not active anymore. So you just come here, click that, and now you can use that current plot and so on and so forth. Or you can come here and you can uncheck that, and then I will go back to the panel, and now you can see this is active. It has come back to active. So I want to repeat the process. If you click this accidentally, and then now you say use option like that, so like that. So every time you click this, you will have to be brought to this phase. Now you can uncheck that and say panel. Now now you can work with this comfortably, so you don't need again go back every other time to check this tabs and so on and so forth. But it's a very simple software. It's just that there are so many things you need to learn and so many motions, but as an engineer you already can conversant with that. So that marks the end of this introduction video.